Hey, it's me, it's Gary Franchi, Next News Network. I've got something very special for you right now. So, what you're actually watching at this very minute is the end of the trip. But, what I'm about to present to you, I'm going to give you an inside look at the NATO summit. From the moment we got on the plane to the moment we returned back to Chicago. The inside moments, the outtakes, the security snafus, the presidential history that was made, it's all here. It's all raw, it's all unfiltered, and it's just for you. So, without further ado, let's roll back the clock to the moment we got on the plane and headed to the Netherlands for the NATO summit. Watch now.
Hey guys, it's Gary and Angie, and we are about to take off, heading to the Netherlands, and the flight's been a little bit delayed getting off the ground, but no worries. We're excited about the trip and what is about to unfold on the world stage, and we're going to give you guys a front row seat to what is about to happen. President Trump is about to arrive in the Netherlands on Monday evening. Hopefully we'll be able to be there to cover that all for you and just take everything in as it happens.
Welcome to Amsterdam. We are in the car. We have successfully landed. We are now in the Netherlands. How's the flight, Angie?
Perfect.
Yeah. Wasn't bad, a little turbulence, but that's par for the course. And it's about 4 o'clock in the morning in my mind, but it's wide awake here in the Netherlands. It's about, what time is it here? 10:30?
Just about, yeah.
So we're heading to the hotel that the White House has selected for our stay. And we're waiting future guidance from the White House. But we do know the president is expected to land this evening, as well as we're going to get our NATO credentials at our hotel. And from what I've learned is the entire hotel has been commandeered by the White House. So this is not like we have a floor. The entire hotel has been taken over by the White House. So it's going to be interesting to see all the cast of characters who are going to be in the halls, and it's not just going to be media. It's going to probably be, you know, different support teams as well, from the press office to the travel office and those types of things. But apparently there's a pool and there's a restaurant, and I mean the White House is even letting us know what the pool hours are at the hotel. How nice of them. So even they recognize that everyone needs to take a nice dip once in a while, and even in the midst of the madness of the world. But we are expecting the president's arrival this evening. I think he's going to be doing a round of golf tomorrow at some point in the morning. So we're going to be rolling with the motorcade, and we'll be providing real-time updates as the day unfolds. So stay tuned. Gary Franchi, Next News Network. Angie Franchi, our producer.
Cheers.
She's got her first cup of Starbucks. First thing she does is she gets Starbucks. And I think she was hoping for something a little bit more.
I was.
A little bit more local. Not some Seattle blend in the Netherlands, right?
Absolutely.
But here we are. So, we'll catch you guys in a little bit. Thanks for watching. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, comment down below. You know the thing. Yeah, it's 4 o'clock in the morning in my mind, so I might be a little loopy. But it's all part of the show. And the show goes on.
Mate! Zet hem maar voor.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. I'm Gary Franchi, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, reporting to you. I'm Gary Franchi, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, reporting to you tonight from inside the security zone of Operation Orange Shield at the very hotel secured by the White House. Hey guys, what's up? It's me. It's Gary. I am Angie behind me. We are in the official press filing center for the NATO summit, and it's empty. Actually doesn't open till like midnight tonight. But just trying to get a lay of the land, and this is where all the action is going to go down inside this area. And what's even cooler is that Next News Network has 2 spots right here for us to do the work that we need to do. Sitting here, and hopefully this is where we'll find maybe President Trump will speak there, who knows. But you got everybody. Real America, PBS, Rumble, Scripps, Epoch, everybody. Al Jazeera, Financial Times, Associated Press, Reuters, ABC, and now finally Next News Network has a seat at the table. I love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, it's Gary at the hotel, and we're getting ready to get on the White House shuttle bus to go to the NATO summit right now. There have been reports of protesters disrupting highway traffic, climate protesters. It's unsure if we're going to encounter any of those on the way, but we're getting ready. It's just before 9 a.m. Just had breakfast and looking forward to the day ahead. There's our bus getting ready to go, and I'm gonna go report history. Angie is here and we're getting ready, so we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Morning.
Okay, so we are waiting for a police escort to get to the media drop-off location. What just happened, you saw we went to the official delegation entrance and they turned the media bus away. Apparently we were at the wrong entrance. So now we're sitting at a Shell gas station and we are just waiting to find out where we're going to go next. It is 10:25 a.m. local time here. We are inside the security perimeter for the NATO summit, and keep you posted. Bye. All right, guys, we're here at NATO and had a little bit of a trip to get in. Had to go in and out of the security perimeter, and now we are just getting ready to begin the day. So buckle up, it's just getting started.
Is there another media center there? Are they set up in there for media?
I don't know what they're doing.
It looks like
Dat valt echt wel mee hoor.
That'll be for Marriott Hotel. For the media, one more spot. Industry form.
Okay.
it's ready to go.
Ja, eigenlijk wel. Super, dank je.
Yeah.
That's your spot.
Ik vond die box en bas.
Hello. Yes, thank you.
Ha detto che 12,36.
Oh, I guess they're bleeding again. Am I bleeding again? Yes, I am.
You can't tell that you're bleeding, it just looks like a little mark.
I don't want to start dripping while I'm doing my
I'll let you know if you are.
one hit.
It's okay.
We put these straps behind underneath my collar. I just don't want them to be totally. I think I got it.
Do you want them to be seen or
I don't want them to be. I want them to be tucked in the hair.
the collar? I see.
Microphone. DJI.
How do you like the light?
Hmm?
How do you like the light?
Give me that DJI.
Do you think you should go warmer? I mean, you look from here. It looks good. How does it look like?
I think this is okay. It's clean white.
Okay.
Get your headphones on. Tell him I'm recording and he's texting.
I wish I had my makeup with me, but it's not bad. Even when it was bleeding, I
won't see
couldn't
it.
tell. No.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2, test 1 2. How is it good?
I'm Gary Franchi, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, reporting from inside the International Media Center at the NATO Summit in The Hague, Netherlands. Behind me,
decided that there is this irreversible path for Ukraine into NATO. We're building that bridge as we speak. I made yesterday an announcement that European and Canadian allies have now pledged more than 35 billion euros in support for Ukraine. Which is more than last year, because last year, for the full year, it was over 50 billion. Now, before the 1st of July, it is already 35 billion. So we can safely assume that for the full year, it will be more than last year. Because what we have seen over the last couple of weeks is unacceptable. It is Russia starting 3.5 years ago this totally unprovoked war against Ukraine. The full onslaught, they already started in 2014, but the full onslaught starting in February 2022. And now the last couple of weeks, these indiscriminate attacks on innocent civilians living in cities, living in communities in Ukraine, who go about their daily lives and get killed or seriously wounded because of these Russian drones and whatever. So this is terrible. So everybody is very motivated. Please understand that.
Russia is even planning new military operations on NATO territory, meaning your countries. And this war is now on in Ukraine, and it's to get prepared, well, to be ready. No doubt we must stop Putin now and in Ukraine, but we have to understand that his objectives reach beyond Ukraine. European countries need to increase defense spending. We believe that 5% of GDP is the right level. A united Europe can create a defense capability that will destroy Russia's illusion that war with Europe could bring it anything. To kill that illusion faster, we must take away Russia's ability to continue this war against Ukraine with impunity.
I'm Gary Franchi, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, reporting once again from the NATO Summit in The Hague. It's a brisk, overcast evening, and the rain has eased, but the atmosphere is...
I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either. All I do is play both sides. I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all. And frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
Do you believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
No, Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Iran violated the peace agreement, the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Do you have to respond to Iran on this?
I'd like to see a deal with Russia. As you know, Vladimir called me up. He said, can I help you with Iran? I said, no, I don't need help with Iran. I need help with you. And I hope we're going to be getting a deal done with Russia.
Do you think you'll meet with Zelensky when you're there?
Yeah, probably. I'll see him. Yeah.
What would you say to him?
Say, how you doing? It's tough. He's in a tough situation. Should have never been there.
And we now see President Trump stepping out of Air Force One as he's arriving in the Netherlands for the NATO summit. Let's continue to listen in here to see if we get any comments from the president. All right, so no comments there from President Trump.
Mr. President, over here, please. President. Mr. President, please. One picture.
That's not allowed. No way.
Can we take photos for the president?
Nope.
These are official photographers.
They're posing.
bless you. No stuff left over there? Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, take all your stuff.
Thank you.
It will also be a massive achievement in making NATO fairer. For decades, the United States sought to get Europe to truly step up. Now, European allies and Canada will equalize their defense spending with the United States. So let me salute President Trump's long-standing leadership in calling for NATO to increase defense spending. Today, I am pleased to announce that NATO has already added an additional $1 trillion in defense spending over the past decade. Mr. President, dear Donald, that is thanks to you pushing us. And tomorrow we will build on that foundation and add trillions more in defense spending, because we need to do this.
Out of the question.
Provide support to Ukraine.
You're recording.
The decisions made today will make NATO much stronger. They also make NATO a fairer alliance, with Europe and Canada stepping up and carrying their fair share of the responsibility for our shared security.
Thank you. Deborah Haynes from Sky News.
Hi.
Hello. The language that you have used when talking to Donald Trump has been notable because of its flattery. Today you called him Daddy, and you sent a text message to him that was gushing with praise. Is this the way that you feel that you have to act when doing business with the US President, through flattery and praise? Isn't it a bit demeaning, and doesn't it make you look weak?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a bit of a question of taste, but I think he's a good friend. And when he is doing stuff which is forcing us to, for example, when it comes to making more investments, I mean, would you ever think that this would be the result of this summit if he would not have been re-elected president? Do you really think that the 7 or 8 countries who said, yeah, somewhere in the 2030s we might meet 2%, we've now all decided in the last 4 or 5 months to get to 2%? So doesn't he deserve some praise? And when it comes to Iran, the fact that he took this decisive action, very targeted, to make sure that Iran would not be able to get its hands on a nuclear capability, I think he deserves all the praise.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Secretary General. We are the youth correspondents.
Absolutely. And you are here now for 2 days, and it will be marvelous.
Thank you. There's a lot happening in this world, and many children worry about it. Do you think we children can also fight for peace? Or should we trust that you could bring peace to the world? Thank you.
Well, I cannot personally bring peace to the world, but what we can do collectively is to make sure that we are so well prepared, we are so strong, that nobody will ever attack us. So the best way to preserve your future and that our children can live in a democratic, free, open society where you can be who you want to be, think what you want, a free press, what we basically have in the West, and let's be honest, it's fantastic, is to make sure that we spend enough on our defense, particularly if we know that we have some adversaries who are really trying to get at us. So that's the best way to preserve your future. And that's what we try to do today, to make that commitment. But you standing here is really touching, and we have seen each other for 2 days. We know each other for some longer time. I really want to thank you both, and in you, all the free press sitting in this room, for your fantastic work, and see you soon in Brussels or elsewhere. Bye bye. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you all very much for all your time. Whose happy birthday is it?
It's Gary Gary Franchi's birthday today. He's 48 years old. And what is he doing? He's spending it with Angie Franchi at the NATO summit right now. If you turn the camera around, you can see. There it is.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting international birthday wishes from
Happy
everybody.
birthday from me.
Thank you
A
so
journalist
much.
from Afghanistan who's working for the BBC in London.
Oh, you're working for... Oh, nice. Okay, thank you. Well, happy birthday. Who else wants to wish me happy birthday?
Happy birthday. I'm from Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan over here wishing me happy birthday. It's an international birthday right here in The Hague, Netherlands. Exciting time. And we're waiting for the next person to show up. Who's it going to be? I don't know.
You know.
Could it be?
I know that.
Who is it going to be? Is it Orange Man Bad?
You tell it better. It's better to you.
Better if I
disclose
say.
the name.
Is it Mr. Trump, Donald Trump? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he'll see me and go, oh, that's the guy from the Next News Network. I want to talk to him. And he's going to go, you, Mr. Franchi, go. And I'll say, yes, Mr. Trump. I'm here from the United States. America first, baby. Let's go.
You only
All right.
turned 48
You
once.
only turned 48 once.
But I want to thank you for joining us at the conclusion of a highly productive NATO summit in the Netherlands. I want to thank them for the royal treatment they've given us. Couldn't have been nicer. And it's a beautiful country, really a beautiful country. Coming in, I saw the most beautiful trees. In fact, I want to bring some back with me. I want to also thank, I had breakfast this morning, the King and Queen, and they're incredible people. I said, your central casting, beautiful people, great people. Enjoyed that, and also NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, who's been terrific. He's been a friend of mine. Speak right here, running this wonderful country. Now, as the NATO Secretary General, is doing a fantastic job, and the Prime Minister. We appreciate everything you've done. And as you know, last weekend, the United States successfully carried out a massive precision strike on Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities, and it was a good meeting with Zelensky. And I had a lot of good meetings. We had a lot of good meetings with a lot of people, a lot of great leaders. But he's fighting a brave battle. It's a tough battle. Yeah.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Go ahead, white dress.
Thank you. Ida Hallikainen from Finland, Ilta-Sanomat.
That's all I do is make deals. Yeah, please.
Mr. President.
Go ahead. Sir, go ahead.
Yeah, question?
Go ahead, back, white, yeah. White jacket, yeah. Go ahead, give my mic. Hello.
Deborah Haynes from Sky News. Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that, but do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own?
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning, and I think they'll be able to, and I think they're going to remember this day. And this was a big day for NATO. You know, this was a very big day. They took it. One of the gentlemen said, you know what, we've been trying to raise the rate for 30 years, he said, 20 years, from almost the beginning. And he's been there for a long time. He said, until you came along, it never happened. What you did is amazing. It's been sort of an amazing day for a lot of reasons, but also for that. Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think they can do it without you, though, in the future? Can they do it without
Well, ask Mark. I mean, you have to ask Mark. Article 5, look, when I came here because it was something I'm supposed to be doing, but I left here a little bit differently. I said, I watched the heads of these countries get up, and the love and the passion that they showed for their country was unbelievable. I've never seen quite anything like it. They want to protect their country, and they need the United States, and without the United States, it's not going to be the same. And you can ask
Mark, or you could ask any of the people that were there. It was really moving to see it. They loved their country. They were so respectful of me because I'm the head of the United States. And I made, you know, the King of Saudi Arabia, when I was in the Middle East, so it was great. And I left here differently. I left here saying that these people really love their countries. It's not a ripoff. And we're here to help them protect their country.
Mr. President! Mr. President!
Okay, we'll do one or two more.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
A question on Spain. Are you satisfied with today?
Oh, I think Spain.
No, it's not.
Even, hij blijft staan.
All right, folks, that's a wrap here at the NATO summit. Gary Franchi, Next News Network. President Trump just finished his fiery press conference, about 45 minutes long, and it was something to behold. The room was hot, and President Trump was there. He's flanked by Rubio and Hegseth like a frickin' boss, and it was something. Here we are, International Press Center, NATO Summit 2025. History has been made, not just by President Trump, but by the Next Friggin' News Network. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Well, we're going through the back way.
Marriott?
Nope, no Marriott.
No.
Bye.
Bye. Ik zie jullie bij de uitgang, ja? Doei, ik blijf lekker zitten. Wil je meerijden? Nee hoor, nee, dankjewel. Bye bye.
Oh.
She was looking out. She stabbed us.
We should have, yeah, she put us in the second row. And then somebody came up and said, no. I said, I'm with the U.S. delegation. He said, what? No, it was not. Oh, yeah. I'll catch him on the way out. Now I know he's coming.
Ja, dan mag hij langs het vluchthuis, ja.
I'm Gary Franchi, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, reporting live from outside the White House secured hotel in the NATO's Summit Security Zone in The Hague, Netherlands. It's a sunny evening here, but don't let the calm sky... Gary Franchi here, Chief White House Correspondent for the Next News Network, reporting live from inside the White House secured hotel within NATO's high security perimeter. right, so here we are on the beach in a little seaside town, and you can see this is a fence line that was all set up to create a security perimeter for President Trump. And you can see the security perimeter goes all the way up over this hill, and this is the hotel where President Trump was supposed to stay at, but instead he stayed at the palace. And our waitress just gave us a video of all the police activity that was going on in this town while the president was supposed to be staying in this location. A massive, massive local disruption. I mean, that's what happens when the president of the United States shows up. The security lockdowns are everywhere.
Eerste politie. Tweede.
Jezus.
Daar, ik vergeet het bijna. Nog één. Nog één. Er lopen heel veel agenten. Alle bussen. Nog een politie. Daar ook politie. Politie. Allemaal politie. 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 Nog meer politie. Al die busjes. Oh, nog meer politie. Besef dat er mensen vanaf dat hotel met de auto zo tjoek, 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 tjoek naar daar werden gebracht. Net. Nog een bus. Undercover politie. Nog meer politie, jongens. De ramptoeristen net als ik. En zo ziet het er hier helemaal uit. Helemaal afgezet. Tada! Nog meer politie. Nog meer politie. Nog meer haken. En dan hebben we daarboven nog allemaal dimensies. En daar moet ik dus het strand op. Waar die politie staat. Daar moet ik erop. Nog een bus. Die mensen vinden het zo leuk, denk ik.
This is just all left over the fence line from when President Trump was here. And the waitress told me that you could see how far that fence line goes all the way. She said it went even further back into the water. And you can see some of the locals have already opened up the fence line because the president's no longer here. So it's quite an interesting scenario of everything logistically that goes on when the president goes out of town. These are the things you don't see, you know, on the evening news. It's really, you know, it's logistics. It's just what goes on. And it's just interesting little things that happen that you just don't see this stuff. You can fence line going up, and you can see the hotel in the background all the way down. But you can see where they have already opened up the fence. The locals have done so. So this beach was completely locked down before the president showed up and while he was here. And eventually they opened it up. But that's the Alexander's Beach Club restaurant we just ate at. And there's where the president stayed. Now, one thing to note is that the waitress told me that this entire North Sea, this is the North Sea out here, and England's on the other side of that somewhere, but she told me that this entire sea was filled with military vessels, naval vessels, frigates, U.S. military, and Belgium, or Dutch. I think you can, there might be one right back there. I think you can see it. I'm not sure what, maybe that's just a fishing vessel. It's too hard for me to tell from this distance. But there was quite a known presence out here on this water. And you can see also earlier while we were eating our dinner, this entire sea was filled with about 20 of these guys parasailing out here. It was quite a sight to see. But I could imagine what it must have looked like while the president was being protected by all this military infrastructure out here on the sea for Operation Orange Shield, which was part of the NATO security apparatus for the summit. And here's the hotel that the president was scheduled to stay at, but he did end up staying at the palace. It's remarkable. Okay, now I'm at the top of the sand dune here. You can see this is the security perimeter for the president. It continues all the way down. Look at the fence line. You can see all the heavy equipment still behind. Look at it. All the way back through here. Around this parking area. Even up through that sand dune again. Right up to the hotel line. I mean, you can see it. The security went all the way around this entire hotel location. Pretty significant. But this is the little town. It's got a little boardwalk, little shops, little restaurants. Everything looks really interesting. Taj Mahal, Pinocchio, fish and chips. You've got Inner Toys, all these little shops, and then just a stone's throw away, President Hotel location. This little town here of Nordlook. So we just had breakfast and we were kind of reflecting on this whole experience. And I was kind of upset. Like, man, I came all this way and didn't get to ask my question. And my question revolved around the fact that here we have NATO and the European partners pledging billions more dollars to Ukraine. And painting that as like this big, great thing. And then you have the head of NATO, Mark Rutte. I just learned how to pronounce his name correctly. Saying there's an irreversible path to bring Ukraine into NATO. Right? That's the red line. That's the red line. That's one of the main things that Putin has been pissed off about. And I'm not a Putin apologist. I don't want to see these people fighting at all. But when you have Ukraine inching closer and closer to NATO membership, and you have Zelensky, having in the frickin' family photos, like he's in every family photo. He's up on stage. He's begging for money. And it's like, so my question for Trump was like, if all this is happening and NATO's got all this stuff going on and they want to bring Ukraine in to spend more money, where's their path to peace? Where's their off-ramp? There isn't one. It's just spend more money. Feed the military-industrial complex. That's all it is. And that's all I heard in this entire trip was we need to spend more money, develop more weapons, and use this as an opportunity to continue to expand military influence. So my question for Trump was this. If they're going to pledge all this money and they're going to have all this endless war with no off-ramp, is NATO's path truly, is it towards peace or is it towards feeding the global military industrial complex? Which one is it? Because President Trump has a plan. Trump's plan was to introduce the mineral deal with Ukraine so that they could have a interest inside of Ukraine. The United States would have an interest, a vested interest in seeing those minerals extracted so that they could have payback for the billions of dollars that we've spent. But at least there's something there that creates a diplomacy and an economic engine that is not revolving around war. And that's the only thing that President Trump was providing. But all NATO was providing was more money for Ukraine, endless war, feeding the military-industrial complex with no path to peace. So which one is it, right? So as I'm sitting here thinking, like, man, that's the question I wanted to ask. And I shared that with a friend, and they're like, man, that's a question that nobody would ask. Now, even though I was so far back in that room and I didn't get to ask that question, the fact that we are here, like, I can be upset about not being able to ask the question, but the reality is the fact that we are here, independent journalists, truly. I mean, we didn't come here with the backing of CNN and MSNBC and massive corporate overlords. We didn't come here with any of that. We came here because we're funded by you, by the people. We did a fundraiser. We needed to raise $25,000 for this trip. We didn't even we raised $2,000. So we are massively in the hole right now. And that's just what it is. It is what it is. But the reality is that we are here. We have been in communication with the White House. We have been, like, literally talking back and forth through email chains, emailing NATO. Like, we're going back and forth. All this stuff is happening only because President Trump made it happen. He opened the door for people like me, independent, free, and true media, to have a seat at the table where it was never, ever possible before. So while I may be upset that I didn't get to ask that question, I got to look at the bigger picture. I got to pull it back and say, well, you know what? Here we are. We are here. We are in the Netherlands. We went to The Hague. We went to the NATO summit. We had Secret Service press badges. We were in the motorcade of diplomats going to the summit. I mean, we were under Secret Service protection because President Trump values our voice. Now, even though our voice may not have been heard in that room, even though I was begging to ask my question, our voice is heard here. And that's all that matters. That's the big picture. So the takeaway when we come back isn't that I didn't get to ask the question. It's that I got to have a seat at the freaking table where there was never ever a chance before. And that is why we are so thankful for President Trump and the work that he's doing in this country, in the world, and for people like me and people like you to have an opportunity to see and hear the truth unfiltered. Got it. Now we're going to take a little adventure. We are going to go and see what it's like to be a local. We're going to take a bus into Leiden and then go on a little canal ride, I guess is what it is. Angie's talking to the hotel staff who's been giving us very nice treatment here and giving us directions. And then I think then we're going to catch a train into Amsterdam and see where that goes. We'll soon find out. Okay, so now we're taking a little walk to the bus stop. We thought we missed the bus because they come on the hour, but it's actually delayed. And we could take a taxi, which would have been a lot more expensive, to go into Leiden. However, it would be a 15-minute wait
for the bus because it's 15 minutes behind schedule. So this is just as good. And we get to take a little walk through the forests of the Netherlands. This is the school behind the hotel. And now we're heading to the bus station, bus stop, I guess. Maybe that's...
You're supposed to be able to buy a ticket here, so... You good?
I'll let the man go first. What?
Get your tickets first, man.
I'm going to. Alright, we just got to the Leiden station. Our bus is leaving. Pretty cool. Just had to tap our debit cards, and 1 debit card per person. And now we're in the town of Leiden. Look at all these bikes. Look at all these bikes. Everyone takes bikes here, I guess. You can see train station, bus station. The adventure continues.
Keep spotting the wildflowers. Yeah. I hear it. I don't, you can't be pulling my leg. That's too good. I'm sure you would love to see a tourist come with the phone.
Zo, wat een foto.
Nee, ik heb daar nog geen zin in staan.
Look at this cobblestone road, I love it.
Huh? Hello. All right, we are in the car on our way to the Schiphol airport. And you can see outside it's beautiful, sunny. It's just about 8 o'clock, 8:05 in the morning. And we asked our driver about the weather here and about snowfall, and he said that it doesn't snow like it used to because of global warming. Yeah, should solve that problem, right? Anyway, it's been a wild week. Glad to be heading home. Angie's here, of course. And just want to get back in studio, get the schedule going again. Last couple weeks have been totally upside down. And just want to get back into the routine of production. Checking the news cycles, making the news, breaking the narratives. But this whole NATO trip was certainly an eye-opener. Not just because my first time out of the country in a capacity like this, but just to see the machinations of the international globalist military-industrial complex at work. The security apparatus, the rings of militant security personnel, and of course the honor that it was to be among the White House delegation for the media. So we're heading to the airport now. We should be on the plane shortly. So I'm at the airport and I'm actually on a self-driving cart. This thing is taking me right to my gate.
Busy as this. Angie's up there on her own. Totally self-driving.
You don't have a key or a card.
I miss them. I'm ready. Yes, it is fun. Good. Were you here for fun?
A little bit of work, a little bit of fun. We never made it to Amsterdam though. We made it to Leiden. Okay. That was great. So we're like, I think we're happy here.
Yeah.
This was okay.
All of the
All the security.
because we were police and they were police.
Too much, right?
It was all barricaded. And it was like everybody was coming in on a cruise. So we came out.
Hi.
Where you headed?
2D.
Right down here.
You're right here, hon.
I thought they were in here.
The safety features of this Boeing 787 Dreamliner aircraft. If you can please cease conversation, put your reading materials aside, give us your full attention, take your eyes off your electronics just for a moment. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Next time you can say, I want a virgin like Mary. That's a Bloody Mary. Flight. Once you get off the aircraft, you will need to have to collect your bags at baggage claim. Those who are connecting on, just follow the recheck baggage signs and have your bag checked to your final destination. On behalf of United Airlines, our Star Alliance partners, and the entire Choosing United, we hope we make.
Right, we are back in the States. 8.5 hour flight. Slept most of the way. And glad to be back. Now we're going to go through customs and on our way back.
I come back one more time. I think the 6 was pretty good. Well, I never did that far.
United States. What an amazing trip it has been.
Turn right onto the I-190 ramp to I-90, I-294.
Can you turn that off? Angie's lost. She's got her map quest running, so she doesn't get lost.
Always.
Always. So we're at O'Hare now. 8.5 hour flight and uneventful. I think I told you guys. What?
Turn right onto the
I slept for about 5 hours. How did you sleep?
I slept great.
Yeah.
Like a baby.
Like a baby. So it's really wild. We took off at like around noon.
Left at the perfect time.
We took off at noon and we landed at about 1:30. But we were in the air for 8 hours. So like the time, it's almost like time hasn't changed. It's really crazy. I just don't know how this, how the jet lag's gonna treat me when we finally get settled in.
God, you have today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
To just reset.
Yeah, I've got today and tomorrow to reset. I've got an interview on Monday, and then get everything back into a schedule.
Get back in the saddle.
Yeah, finally get back to a regular schedule. It's been a wild 2 weeks, huh?
Fight some crime from home.
Yeah. So, glad to be back. And who knows where our next adventure is going to be. I'll make sure you guys are with us.